Hare Krishna. Welcome back. Again, my name is Sachitanand Das. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, previously we had discussed about vegetarianism and how important it is to be a vegetarian, especially because we've got this rare human life. Now, somebody may say that, okay, you explain about the important points on the differences between man and animal, how animals are in the mode of ignorance, how animals they have no distinction, and they just simply live a very ignorant life completely on a bodily concept. But there are vegetarian animals as well, like the cow or the horse, etc., the herbivores. How come they are not highly spiritual? Even human beings, or even there are birds that eat only vegetarian foodstuffs. So, even there's a lot of human beings who are vegetarians, but still they cannot advance in spiritual science or spiritual knowledge. They do not have that deeper interest. Let us go into another component and a spiritual angle besides what we had discussed in our last episode about the physiological aspects of the human body and the body of a carnivore or a meat-eating animal. So what I would like to do is take you all to a different dimension about why be vegetarian, and at the same time vegetarianism and prasad or prasadam. What is prasadam? Basically, when we have nice foodstuffs that are vegetarian foodstuffs, and we offer it to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, and then we partake of it, that is a very simple definition of prasad. Prasad basically means mercy. There are different types of the mercy of the Lord. The Lord is full of compassion. And in order for us to know Him, He facilitates His compassion or mercy through different avenues. Like, for example, His mercy is when we see His beautiful deity form in the temple. His mercy is manifest by reading the scriptures as it is that have been explained, and the realizations of great souls. This is the mercy. Having a guru who is a Sadguru, who is a highly realized spiritual soul who knows God, who has understood God, he can give you God. And that is also the mercy or prasad of Krishna. When we have a good guidance, a good spiritual master, it is said that yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado, yasya prasadan na gati kutopi. My dear spiritual master, my dear guru, your mercy is as good as Krishna's mercy, the Supreme Lord's mercy. And without your mercy, there is no advancement. So, coming back to the aspect of prasad or mercy, one of the avenues that Krishna has given us is His remnants. When we offer foodstuffs to Krishna, with love, He accepts them. Bhagavad Gita says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. And Krishna has specified that these four categories I will accept if you offer it with love. Anybody can offer, no matter how poor one may be, simply a glass of water. Anybody can offer a leaf, a fruit, or a flower. These four patram, a leaf, pushpam, a flower. patram, pushpam, phalam, a piece of fruit, toyam, water, in those categories. Anybody can offer that. Every day we have our nitya karmas or our daily activities. What are they? We wake up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we take a bath, then we sit for breakfast. Everybody must eat. Everybody must sleep. Everybody must do their work. If you're a student, you go to school. If you're working, you go to your office. So these are all nitya karmas. So eating is a nitya karma too. Now, because we have to eat and we are vegetarians, that is not sufficient enough. It is a stepping stone towards spirituality. Our antenna is getting perked up. But in order to even understand spiritual topics better, then we have to take and honor prasad. We have to offer it to Krishna. And the method for offering is very simple. One may not even need complicated mantras from the Vedas. Just with a very simple heart, when you're sitting on your table, you say, "My dear Supreme Lord, I'm offering you this, please accept it." And when you do that with love, the Supreme Lord definitely accepts that offering. It's like basically a relationship of love. I'll give you a very simple example. A child of a very rich man who is a multi-billionaire, he gives him some pocket money to his child, and the child saves it in a piggy bank, and then he tells his daddy or mommy, "Mom, Dad, here, this is something for you. I bought this tie for you, or I bought this sari for you, Mama." Just imagine how happy they would be. Although they don't need the sari, they don't need a tie. Probably his closet or his wardrobe is full of expensive ties and expensive clothing. And he probably receives so many gifts through his business avenues. But can you compare that happiness, and can you compare the happiness that he derives or the parents derive when the child offers him or offers them from his own pocket money something it may be appear very insignificant, but it's so significant. Similarly, the Supreme Lord doesn't need anything from us. Actually, he owns everything. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. He owns everything. But as they say, Tera tujhko arpan. My dear Lord, please take this. I would like you to, just like, in a family, when you have, let's say, a very nice piece of chocolate, or if you have a very nice piece of sweets, and it's maybe one piece only, but what do? When you come in, you share it with everyone. Here's, take a little piece, have it please, with love. You share it with the family members. So we should have that love for God also, for Krishna. And when we do that, it is transformed from a mere vegetarian meal into prasadam, into a transcendental, very fully potent spiritual mercy that will help us understand the Supreme Lord. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, when he first went to the West in the 1969-70s, 65, in 1965, the first thing that he did is he cooked sumptuous prasadam. Bhoga. Bhoga basically means enjoyment. Before we partake of the prasad, it is called bhoga. Bhoga means enjoyment, and it's enjoyment for the Lord. Once the Lord accepts it, then it becomes prasadam. So His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, when he was at 26 2nd Avenue, when he started the ISKCON movement, there were a lot of hippies who came. And as we all know, the hippies were full of, according to the Vedic scriptures, full of anarthas. Meat eating was rampant in them, intoxication was rampant, illicit sex was rampant. So all these components were there that were basically extremely averse to understanding spirituality. But Srila Prabhupada what he did is he basically started by chanting the holy name, and he gave them sumptuous prasadam. It is said in the scriptures that Atasri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grayam indriya sevan mukhi jivado swayameva spurate. The Supreme Lord manifests himself when we offer our service or seva, sevan mukhe jivado, with our tongue. First, our tongue should, and how do you serve the Supreme Lord with our tongue? Is by chanting His holy name and tasting Krishna Prasad. One of our acharyas, Thakur Bhakti Vinod, has very nicely mentioned in a small prayer that we usually say before taking prasad, before honoring prasad. Bhai Sharira Vidya Jal Jadendriya Tahe Kal Jive Fele Vishaya Shagure Tar Madhye Jiva Ati Lobomay Sudurmati Take Jetha Kathina Samsare Krishna Bado Dayamoy Kori Bare Jiva Joy Swa Prasad Anno Dilo Bhai Shya Namrita Pao Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gunagao Preme Dakho Shri Chaitanya Nitai. Meaning, this body is a network of ignorance. Why is it a network of ignorance? Because we do not know who we are. We think that we are this material body, this gross body, which we are not. Actually, we are all spirit souls. And in order to understand that the distinction between the body or the outer covering that we have and the spirit soul that lies within us, we have to go through a process. And one of the simplest process is by chanting the holy name and accepting Krishna Prasadam. So, this body is a network of ignorance, Sharira Vidyajal, Jadendriya Tahekal, and these gross senses will bring our death, Tahekal. And out of that, Jive Fele Vishaya Shagare, Tar Madhye Jiva Ati Lobomay Sudurmati. The tongue is the most voracious of all. It is said that if one can control the tongue, one can control all the senses. One may go through different processes of so-called yoga. But if one doesn't have control over the tongue, none of the other senses will be easily controllable. If one can control, Krishna Bado Dayamoy Kori Bare Jiva Joy. When we honor Krishna Prasadam, He makes our tongue victorious. He makes our tongue victorious. There is a very nice little story, just on the side of a humor, a little bit. There was a fight between the tongue and the teeth one time. So the teeth said to the tongue that, you know what, if you don't stop your fight, I will crush you. So the tongue said, you know what, my dear teeth, I won't give you that chance. If I say something at the wrong place and the wrong time, all of the teeth, all of you will be gone. So the tongue, in other words, is very, 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 very important indri, or a sense that we need to control. And automatically the rest of the senses will follow. It's a question of faith. And we will see, like Bhagavad Gita says, when Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinam Rasovarjam Rasoapyasya Param Drishta Nivartate. When Srila Prabhupada went to New York, when these hippies started coming on a regular basis, Srila Prabhupada fed them sumptuously. A 70-year-old man, he was preparing nice Krishna Prasadam, where dal, rice, gulab jamuns, rotis, and he used to serve personally with his hands out of compassion. And he would tell these hippies, you're not eating well, take more, take more. Some of them would take about 15, 20 rotis, and at that time maybe 25, 30, 40, 50 hippies used to come, and Srila Prabhupada used to personally cook and serve. And then after that, he used to even wash all the utensils because they left. But slowly, because of the Krishna Prasadam that Srila Prabhupada fed, they kept coming for more and more. Even today in our ISKCON movement, Prabhupada has instructed that every Sunday we will have the love feast, where everybody, Priti Bhojan, where everybody is welcome without any distinction to partake of this pure Shuddha Sattvam Prasadam. So, of course, on behalf of ISKCON, I would also like to invite, wherever you are at your nearest center, try Krishna Prasadam and see how your life will change. Srila Prabhupada, out of compassion, he served Prasadam very freely. And basically, what was the result? The result is very obvious. Phalena parichyate. A tree is known by its fruits. Those hippies, Srila Prabhupada, sometimes when reporters would ask, Swamiji, what kind of miracle can you do? This is generally expected when you see a Swami. And Srila Prabhupada would simply smile, point at his disciples from the West and say, I turned hippies into happies. Now, how did these hippies become happies? Those who were having illicit sex, they were gambling, they were into heavy intoxication, etc. They gave up everything. Vishaya vinivartante, niraharasya dehinam, rasovarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Rasovarjam rasopyasya. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that when one gets a higher taste, one automatically, the rest of the lower tastes are completely, they give it up. So those who are actually constantly doing drugs, drinking, smoking, consuming alcohol, eating meat, they came back for more and more prasad. And slowly they gave it up. As a matter of fact, some of them gave it up immediately. It's almost instant. I would like you all to try this. And proof is in the pudding. And then they never went back. They never even hankered. Some people, when especially New Year's comes, they try to make a resolution. Okay, from this year I'm going to become a vegetarian, or I'm going to stop my smoking or my alcohol. But it is so short-lived. Sometimes they manage a couple months. Sometimes even they manage a year or two. But because they do not develop a higher taste, they go back to the same. So again, it's extremely difficult to kind of explain and put it into words. You would have to actually try this. If you want to quit smoking, come on down. Try our prasadam. If you want to quit your alcohol, come on down. Try Krishna Prasadam. It's free. It's not expensive. Like there's so many other avenues where you have to spend thousands of rupees or dollars or euros in order to get rid of certain habits. And even then it is extremely difficult and they go back to the same situation, back to square one. This is a permanent cure, a permanent situation where you will be extremely happy with prasadam. There is a very nice pastime which I think most devotees will be able to relate to. But just by hearing it, it is completely purifying. In Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu had made a certain rule. And what was the rule? That when he took his bhoga or preparation that was lovingly offered by Mother Lakshmi, after he ate, he instructed Mother Lakshmi that only you are the one who will be getting my Mahaprasad and nobody else. So Mother Lakshmi followed the rules and she was very fortunate. She always serves Vishnu, Narayana so nicely. So she gets this Mahaprasad every day. But one time it so happened that Naradji, he visited Vaikuntha and he begged Mahalakshmi ji, can you give me some prasad? She said, no, my dear Naradji, I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to give prasad. The reason being, because my master, my Lord, Vishnu ji has said that only I can take it. It cannot leave from my hands. Naradji begged, please, 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 Mother Lakshmi, please give me some Mahaprasad, please. Actually, Naradji served Mahalakshmi very well, and finally, when she was pleased, after about 12 years, I suppose so, it goes like that. Mother Lakshmi says, I'm very pleased with your service, Narad. What can I give you? What can I do for you? So Narad said, can you give me a little bit of that Mahaprasad? So Mother Lakshmi was so kind, she gave Naradji some prasadam, and Naradji, the moment he took the prasadam, he started dancing in ecstasy. All over the universe like a madman, like a flash. Naradji was sometimes in Kailash, sometimes in Brahmalok, in different kinds of different planetary systems, simply dancing in joy, in ecstasy after receiving the Mahaprasad. Nobody had received Mahaprasad except Lakshmi ji. So, as he was dancing, suddenly Lord Shiva, while he was sitting on Kailash, he noticed this flash of light dancing here and there throughout the universe. So he immediately wanted to find out what was happening. So he called Naradji and he said, "My dear Naradji, you are dancing like a crazy man. What is it? What happened? Please tell me, I'm eager to hear." And Naradji said, "Oh, I'm so fortunate. I got Mahaprasad of Krishna, of Vishnu." And then Shivji said, "How fortunate of you. Nobody gets Mahaprasad. How did you manage to get it? Can you give me a little Mahaprasad, please? I would like to get this Mahaprasad as well." So Naradji said, "My dear Lord Shiva, I'm embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I ate everything and I even licked my hands in ecstasy. I didn't even realize." So Lord Shiva said, "Okay, my dear Naradji, can I see your hands, please?" And there was nothing on his hands, but Lord Shiva found somewhere on his finger embedded was a small grain of rice. And Lord Shiva immediately took that and he went into ecstasy as well. And he started dancing on Kailash and he did his Tandav Nritya, the kind of dance that is performed by Lord Shiva at the time of destruction. And the world and the universe started shaking. The Devi Devtas or the demigods were wondering what is happening. Is devastation coming now? It's not time yet. So they were wondering what happened. Why is Lord Shiva dancing like this in a crazy Tandav Nritya? He was in ecstasy. So they approached Mother Parvati, who was also known as Bimla Devi, and asked Mother Parvati, "Please, can you find out, because we cannot approach him when he is in this kind of ecstatic mood." So Mother Parvati asked Lord Shiva, "My dear Pati, my dear Lord, my dear Master, what happened? You are in such great ecstasy." And then Lord Shiva said, "Parvati, I just got the most rarest of rarest, the impossible, which is Mahaprasad from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Narayana, Vishnu. Can you believe that? That is why I'm in ecstasy." Parvati was so happy. She was in bliss that her husband got it. And then she said, "My dear, I'm your Ardhangini. I'm your half body. Can I have some Mahaprasad from you as well?" And then the ecstasy of Lord Shiva disappeared immediately. He said, "My Parvati, sorry, I don't have any. That one little grain that I got from Naradji, I took it." And Mother Parvati was extremely upset. "How could you do this? I am your Ardhangini, your half body. You should have given me half a grain at least." And she was very upset. She sat in tapasya and she was so angry, and she actually appeased Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu appeared. Lord Vishnu appeared in front of her and said, "Parvati ji, what is the reason of your penance? Why are you so unhappy? Tell me, please. Let me mitigate your sorrow. Allow me to mitigate your sorrow." She said, "Yes, Prabhu, my Prabhu, Lord Shiva, received your Mahaprasadam and I could not get any of it. Can you give me? I'm extremely upset." So Vishnu, being so kind, he immediately said, "No problem. In the afternoon of Lord Brahma, I will appear as Lord Jagannath Dev, and you will receive the moment I finish my prasad, my bhoga. Once I take my lunch, once I take my food, it comes out, you will be the first one to receive the Mahaprasad. So today when we go to Jagannath Puri, Bimla Devi or Parvati Devi, there's a temple right outside the main sanctorium. All the Mahaprasad first goes to her, and then it goes to the rest of the devotees. Now this particular pastime shows the glories of Mahaprasad. There are so many wonderful pastimes of Mahaprasad that we cannot mention due to the limitation that we have in the short time in this presentation. This is basically Mahalakshmi is so kind. She enacted this pastime so that through Lord Jagannath and Bimla Devi, the rest of the universe will get Mahaprasad. Jagannath Puri, when we go, they sell Mahaprasad outside, especially the offered rice, the dry rice that is there. Vaishnavas generally break their fast on Dwadashi with this Mahaprasad, this rice. So this prasadam has great mahima. Being vegetarian is just not enough. Yes, that's true. It is a stepping stone. But once we offer with love Krishna, and of course there are different methods of offering, but even if we sometimes we may not have a temple, we may not have deities, we are traveling, it's okay. It's perfectly okay. It's a matter of how much love do you have to share your meal with Krishna. Just like I mentioned, you have a nice piece of a candy or a sweet, you want to share it with your family members. Similarly, when you have a situation where you cannot elaborately offer something, you might as well just say, my dear Lord, please accept this. I want you to have this. And the moment you say that, it takes a transcendental form and it is bereft of all karma. Very, very important. When we eat foodstuffs, even if it is vegetarian, it comes with a big bag of karma. It comes with a big bag of karma. When the person or the farmer that grows the rice, the grains in the fields and has workers working, sometimes today we see that everybody exploits everybody. Those workers are not paid enough. They barely get anything. And when they actually work in the field, sometimes they feel very bad and they're actually cursing. All that goes into those grains. It comes to the market, and there is a lot of unscrupulous merchants who, just for the sake of pure money, they sell and they also exploit their workers. And then it comes to our table. When we consume those foodstuffs, we are a part of that karma. Please try to understand that, the whole chain. We will have to face the karmic reactions. But when we offer nicely prepared from the same ingredients, vegetarian ingredients in the category of patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, Krishna has very specifically said that I will accept this only in these categories. One should not mistake that, okay, you know what, I will offer a piece of chicken with love to the Lord and He will accept it. No. The Supreme Lord has specified, just like when we go to a restaurant or when we go to somebody's house, they know basically what we like and we do not dislike. So similarly, Krishna has specified these 4 categories. If you offer it with we love, I will accept it. So when we offer the same ingredients that I just discussed, that came through a whole chain of exploitation and a lot of bad karma, it becomes transcendental, and not only you are purified, the entire chain will get the benefit. So Krishna Prasadam is transcendental. And then basically we are actually guaranteed a human form of life in our next birth, even though we may not be perfect and go back home to Godhead. So it's extremely important to not only consume Krishna Prasadam, but distribute Krishna Prasadam. Bolo Krishna Prasadam ki jai.